Complete silence. Quite nice, actually. Ready for chaos to ensue. Ensure? Is that a word? Anyway.
You were right. You were right the first time, but I mean, chaos is exactly there right now. Izzy's getting up and aggressive as the rest of their team's kind of dying around them. All eyes are on Chronicle. And in my notes, I had Chronicle plays controllers sometimes. Absolutely cracked. And he hits 4 frags already, making his pistol round an absolute doozy for Gambit. Off that spike as well, denying any sort of pushes. And 5 players alive for Gambit, but yeah, how do they push? Aggression early from Defo does mean that Tucker goes down. So now, at the start of this retake, you're really going to have your eyes on where Nats is going to push on in with the rest of the team from the same angle. Because Redgar and Chronicle already got shut down. Power is able to cover those flanks, so you've got to get up close and personal. But the trades are there. Shados makes it into 2, and now it's 1 versus 2. I believe you can sit on that for quite a bit. Shados can get that. No, barely doesn't get that half. Okay, sticks back on towards it, but because they didn't stick the half, Gambit do actually lose the round. A big mistake there, because that could have easily been theirs.
A full buy for Supermassive Blaze either, so it's definitely doable.
Shados is here, out in the open. Oh, managed to take it down. Hops through the Viper's bite, just doesn't want to get caught. And that's another player down. A very solid position to find themselves. And now, rest of Gambit are able to really hold this out. And I was talking earlier about denying around those ult orbs. That's exactly what Shados did. And it means that Supermassive Blaze now down 2 players already before they do anything. Defo tries a little bit too hard to get out of dodge. Unfortunately, dodges right on into a couple of bullets from Izzy. And now, regardless of that situation, Supermassive Blaze are going to be able to get that spike in.
This will be an interesting retake here. They have man advantage, and again, they're all sort of squashed onto site. So I do see this going in Gambit's favor, but I'm sure SMB can pull something out the bag. Not against Chronicle with an operator, unfortunately, but Turco will find one. Shados finds another. Turco's still alive, still doable, but nothing for Shados. Shados is absolutely doing work here. Didn't really do much damage to Gambit's buy. They got money, they've got guns. So it'll be interesting to see what SMB can do here, but Defo does find the first onto Izzy with that operator.
Rinse and repeat. The flashes here are so well played. And again, Gambit coordinating well around each other and just playing off the back. Defo is allowed to just peek this angle, fire the shot, get the flash in his way, and just do whatever they darn well please. And notice how, I mean, yeah, they took down Redgar, but Redgar and Chronicle are both holding that same angle. You try and push Defo at any point there, you're insta-dead because they open the door and you are gone.
I personally, I would back away. I don't want to face Defo with an operator. He's just clean with it. Or maybe not so much there. Sephora will find Chronicle.
You just have to hit that shot.
Killjoy all invested here to maybe help them get onto site. Chronicle using his ult to clear that out and find Izzy? Am I dumb there?
Huh?
Did Izzy fall to the Chronicle ult?
I didn't see, unfortunately. He did indeed. Okay, right. Well,
not only did they get rid of the lockdown, they also found Izzy too. And they have players still in main. This is going to be a difficult retake here for Gambit.
Is indeed heading up from on high. Defo finds that first frag, but they lose Redgar already. That's the problem. They don't have the weapon. That makes things ever so difficult. The operator doesn't hit, but unfortunately, out in the open, Izzy gets taken down. Nats is playing from on high, and Gambit are using that height to their advantage. They even get the res out on Redgar. They're playing so aggressively for this. They take down another, as the Viper's Pit seems to cause more confusion for Supermassive Blaze. Important walls to try and put that util through. Nats spots out a player, and there comes the smokes. They're going to try and pick up Polar, who just was not expecting Nats to still be waiting there. The Rolling Thunder to maybe try and lead to an execute, but it doesn't really hit anyone. It clears a little bit of space, but they're caught up in the mess, the tangle that is those cipher wires. And now Gambit again shut down a push from Supermassive Blaze, and you're going to try and cross. Nats is watching out for it, gets that first frag, doesn't know the other one's there, but goes to the second peek as soon as he gets that info.
Will they peek into Defo's operator once more? No, they will not. They are full sending their way up through satellite. Russ finds Shados, and it looks like they're making their way onto A. The quick rotation is coming in. B site has been left alone.
Oh, Defo, good shot there from Defo. I mean, again, cuts Izzy out. Power tries to push through those walls, and you just can't deal with it. You need to invest utility to kill Defo. Simple as. And if you're just walking through a wall, you're gonna die, buddy. You just can't make that happen. Defo tries to punch through it, but there it is. The real problem. You are in a small area, and, well, Brimstone is very good at dealing with that. Uses the ultimate, cuts them apart, and then there was one, and then there were none. 8 for half. It's hardly expecting a push out here. Is waiting for Izzy. Knows that the push is there. Gets some damage. Doesn't quite kill. Again, too many players, not enough time.
I don't hate this from SMB. They've taken control of one part of the map. They've got that info. However, will they expect this Nats lurk here? I'm not so sure. Gap. Nats nearly whipping, but does find
got it in the end.
He got there in the end. Could have been a 2k, but he got one. That'll do. He got his. And now we do see a retake coming in here for SMB. They are quashed on site. However, we do have Defo sort of coming around the back here to see if there's anyone pushing through A main. Get that info. And now the retake begins.
This is a real chance for them to absolutely deck them. You can see it coming through there from... Chronicle's trying to land those shots, but there's so many flashes coming their way. Really buy you anything. I like the idea if it's a little bit later so it can try and catch him. There's the Rolling Thunder. That means that Russ is in a difficult spot. Dashes on up, but Shados beats him to the punch as usual. Always hot on the heels of any sort of utility. Shados does not want to get caught, but Izzy makes 2 happen. Finds a third. As, I mean, what looked good for Gambit is now looking very lackluster.
Map control here, sir. Playing a bit more defensively isn't the worst. Huge flash there. So Pora can take out Redgar. Brave. Izzy? SMB just waiting. Shados, however, does take out Izzy.
Yeah, that was a really nice pick for Shados again. They always manage to find those openings, but the problem is there's too many players for them to have to deal with. The Russ down here, it's easy kills, and Chronicle just can't get their word in edgeways. And to really execute here, the rotates are coming quick, so they need to be moving fast. That's something that you can use really well from Brimstone. Those smokes come down in a flash. Izzy takes down one, gets taken down, but the push from these rifles could be too much. However, the Sheriffs come up huge. Defo even takes down Turco and now has a rifle in hand. There's a little bit of time. Power is going to invest that lockdown, and I think this is absolutely the right call. The problem is you're 1 versus 3 now, and the pressure is really on. This could spiral out of hand very quickly, however, as Power gets that first frag, knows exactly where one of those remaining ones. The lockdown gets destroyed? That's interesting to see, because now you're confused about what's happening. I thought it went off, but it didn't. I don't know how that happened, but Power is now worried about it, takes down Nats, knows that there's still one more player up in that heaven. However, what do you do? How do you deal with that? The turret going out is an absolutely fantastic and a master stroke call here. Defo's going to round the corner as soon as he waits the time, but gets caught out. Power watches it, and that ultimate was a big part.
Holy moly, that was huge from Pora.
But it gets a lot of information. I like the fact that they're trying to contest it. The Rolling Thunder, I'm not so sold on, but at least they went for something here. Nats catches one, takes down another in the midst of the orbital bombardment. And the aggression is just so good. The Cyber Cage as well gives them that little bit more space, and they can start to make that move happen. Move on in. Redgar gets that plant down. 2 versus 4.
It's doable. We saw Pora last time, but I think Gambit are going to play a little bit more safe here. Nats will find Pora there.
Yeah, no Pora this time.
Left. Can Turco do it? Pora pretty much just did.
Well, they did have a little bit more utility to work with, I'm going to be completely honest with you.
The money's low. The momentum's not quite there. We'll see here with this double push down from Turco and a very, very quick round here from SuperMassive Blaze with this huge push.
Yeah, and kind of the fact that they took away all those rifles as well.
There's all to play for.
It is winnable. It is winnable. But, I mean, with only 2 rifles, everyone... How did they not hit? Izzy whiffs! Chronicle finds that key frag and already takes that operator player off the board. If you can deny that operator back again, the Rolling Thunder here could make a big difference, but it's actually used to push away players who could be to the side. Defo is on site now and already looking for that little bit more. There's no one anywhere near as the rotate is starting to come on in, but they stepped up a little bit too much and gave Defo an easy peasy frag. And then there were 2. Russ is trying to look for an angle, but can't quite see anyone. Defo is unfortunately hidden away, and the rest can be said for these other players as well. Redgar's going to be forced out into the open, but easily crosses into those boxes and doesn't even get tagged up. Russ can't land it, gives himself over to Defo, and the lockdown from Power here would be great if you still have players alive. 1 versus 4. I mean, they got close before, but honestly, I think he should probably wait it out. They've still got a player on the backside. Keep an eye on that breach, but Redgar gets caught. Russ is absolutely heads up, and that's actually being forced them to rotate on over. They knew Turco was there, but they still fall. That is a disaster. And now that means the rotate can come ever so quickly. Turco is getting wall banged up to high heavens. The molly will be the thing which finally forces them out into the open and makes this ever so difficult. Izzy gets that frag. Almost out a second, but the Viper's bite is going to force them back yet again. They don't quite make it, and Chronicle is going to have to hurry on in. There's not much time in the bank for Gambit, and I think they're making the right call by trying to save here.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, there's not really much they can do. The clock's ticking. I think Defo.
No, and I love the stim beacon plus the hellfire.
Is this a fade?
Yeah, it's so clever. But as the execute comes on in, Izzy is still waiting there. They didn't give enough time. They didn't sell it hard enough. And as a result, Izzy whips the second shot, will bring out the knife, but wasn't prepared to get attacked from another angle. There's not much time on it. You have to get that spike down quickly. There's no utility to get in the right place. And it's a 2 versus 3 retake. There's the lockdown. Go underneath. Notice that Chronicle is already going to be there. And Power can't go down there in this time. So this is a really good call. And now it's in a much more difficult to hit, but it doesn't hit the entire site. They take down Shados. It's 2 versus 2. The lockdown gets destroyed. The shot whiffs from Redgar. This is so important. Chronicle is waiting just around the corner, but gets full flash, gets taken down. If we're expecting SMB to take this one, Shados already steps on out, but Izzy finds that first frag, has to dash away. Overstays a little bit. The Rolling Thunder to stop, but there's only one player there. The rotates have come on in to deal with them, but it was just Shados. Even though they commit, okay, Brave shuts it down. I was worried that they had an opening on their backside, but even with Chronicle dash could give them the time they need. The smokes are starting to come on in. The wall are going on through. Izzy's going to dash on into everything, but can't find a target. The flash hits Nats, but he turns away just in the nick of time and nets themselves that first frag. The advantage going to Gambit with 25 seconds on the clock. There's not a lot of SMB to work for. They've got to push, but Shadow shuts it down, and this defensive side is proving itself to be oh so strong. Push Redgar. I dare you, because he is dealing with you left, right, and center. Oh my, Redgar is completely forced into a difficult position. Oh, there's just about whips. The shot, the spray. No, they don't quite get timed up enough. Brave is aware of where that spike is, but there's one. Chronicle doesn't quite land it, and that will be around going the way of Supermassive. Brave. Problematic, but pushed back from an all-important position. And now holding a closer angle, trying to get those frags, but it's Shados again who finds those openings. Defo whiffs again. And this is uncharacteristic, but could be the chance they also sorely need. The rest of them are getting aggressive up onto this angle, but the quick scope is there with a pickup of Redgar. You know Gambit are locking it down. They're not letting a word in edgeways from SMB.
This is huge from Gambit, just completely denying the push out onto A site. Not just pushing them back, but also killing them.
Oh, that was such a freebie for...
to get onto site.
Oh, that concuss was big. Now Defo can get up close and personal. He's turned to the right, buddy. He's behind you. Oh, Power takes it, but the refrag is there. And that means the execute could come on in here. They at least get the ult point, which means only one off is Chronicle, but he walks right on into that one. Now, now means nothing. Keep an eye on that as Shados again looks to execute onto this site. However, I'm looking at this A site, buddy. Please try somewhere else, because Gambit doesn't feel like it's working. Even if you take the site, this post plant feels absolutely dire. It's 2 versus 2, and notice that Redgar is still on site, obviously stuck with the spike, but the flank is coming in quickly. He's had to come back. There's not enough time on the board because they're closing in ever so quickly. Nats is waiting right here, wants to get that shot. Brave peeks out wide. Turco, no, buddy, you just gave yourself up for free. There are the frags. Gambit take it as mistakes are made.